problems. So the power of now will show you how to quiet the mind. The intelligent soul will show you how to quiet the mind, and also uh, so many aspects, so many aspects that these books will teach you. But mm, instincts, no. Instincts, instincts is feelings in this sense, or it's a combination of feelings and intuition in this sense. If let's say, for example, hunting. When I say that this dog has instincts for hunting, it means that it has the know-how to do something. You get? But hatuwezi sema that this animal has knows how consciousness now is the ability to focus on those particular instincts. Nona, me, I want you to just view consciousness in simple terms. It is just awareness. What do I mean by awareness? It is able to focus on one thing and less on another. The more you learn about spirituality, my brother, the more you'll get it. So easy, I know it's confusing, but I promise you, so easy, the confusion you're getting over time, it's like reading the Bible. Kuna verse unasoma saizi ya uradi nini inasema, but then you read it tomorrow, you're like, oh, now I get. Or pasi explain because now I understand. Unaona? You find understanding has different levels, especially when it comes to spirituality, my brother. You're going to notice that spirituality is a joke. It's going to really require a lot from you. It's going to put you in a place where itabidi sasa ume take time ku learn these things in a way that you have compassion for yourself. If you don't understand it now, take time, and then life ikupige kidogo, then when you read those books again, because now I understand, inakuanga ni your understanding always comes from a place of maybe your mind is not yet open to listening, or maybe your consciousness is not yet ready, or maybe unafaa upigwe na life kidogo upitie kama mateso fulani, then you can relate to it. You get? So now tuende kwa sasa this aspect that I was telling you that it's a sickness. Listening to the mind is a sickness. Bro, nataka tuangalie hivi. Uko na dem. Si ndio? Uko na dem hapa, mna date. The new dem, the whole day unamcall achukui simu. The following day bado unamtafuta haumpati. You text her, text kama 50, calls ni kama chwani. All these things you've done, but still she's not responding. And then your mind tells you she's cheating on you, ama ameenda majuu kucheza, ama ikwambie, you know what, hii kidem kimenibo, leave her. Unaona? Then dem wako kukola kwambie, cheki babe, I'm sorry I've been quiet, but I was planning our anniversary and my phone, I had to leave it because I had gone to somewhere where mimi mwenyewe sikuwa nini. Mind yako silikuwa imekuadvise umwache. If let's say for example that mind was maybe a coach, a life coach. Alafu ikuambie uachane na dem yako na dem yako was planning something romantic for you. Bro, nikuulize, if kama huyo angekuwa life coach, ungemfanya hapo hapo? Life coach amekwambia achana na huyo bibi, huyo ni kichwa ngumu, muache. So you know what, I shock you. You know what you do tomorrow? You are all ears for the next advice akili yako itakwambia. So that means we are literally living in madness. We are listening to a liar that will constantly lie to us, and we believe it. Whether it's saying good things or bad things, our job is not to distinguish. Our job is to avoid listening to that liar. You get? Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. So now I want you to look at it from this perspective. The devil has no control over your consciousness. The devil cannot even touch your soul. You know actually what the devil does? He wants to remove your soul so that he can place a demon in your to be your vessel. You get? He's trying to remove your soul so that he can place the soul of another demon. That means that if he wants to influence you, he'll use your mind. He can't control your soul. That's why the only way to get to you is to remove your soul. The soul is the purest form of energy in this world. Therefore, the devil cannot do anything regarding the soul. Haiwezi control soul yako. Bro, he can only manipulate your mind. How does he manipulate your mind? By bringing things in your life that sucker the soul to the consciousness to focus on them. But if consciousness has been trained to focus on less on things, and not, if what he does is he brings things that attract your mind, and now when your mind is suckered into those things, it then now decides um, to to focus on those things. But now when it's focused on these things, consciousness is attracted. When consciousness is attracted, then that means that there's a high likelihood that you as a person, you become completely lost. Get? Like, how does, maybe let's look at it from this perspective. The devil is trying to tempt you in sexual perversiveness. In this sense, he wants you eh? He wants you to cheat on your wife, si ndio? So he'll start bringing women in your life wenye hawaku that are tempting you. So what will be suckered? It will be your mind. But if you're not listening to your mind, will you be suckered? No, you won't. So that's why when you read these books, they will train you on how to quiet the mind. When you quiet the mind, bro, you will never get depressed. This is a guarantee. Another thing, you'll always live a peaceful life. Na hutaikosana na mtu. You'll never. Do you know the source of all evil is the mind? Every single problem you can think about in this world, the mind is the source. So now, if let's say you want to be in a position where you want um, you want to come out of thinking on how do I stop the mind from thinking. Let me give you the pointers. Number one, if you want to make your mind to stop making noise, number one thing you need to do is stop believing the mind. Stop believing the mind and stop fighting the mind. Like, let me give you an example. You are in this, so let me teach you the principle first, and then I'll teach you the 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 dynamic of not fighting the mind. So if, let's say, for example, you are thinking about that girl and you don't want to think about that girl, you know what will happen? You'll start telling the mind to be quiet. But that's the mind telling the mind to be quiet. In this sense, the thought comes, manze, I miss your dame, I miss this girl, and I really, really want her to be with me, nimemiss, nataka kuwa karibu na yeye, nataka tukue close and all that. And then you're like, you know what, please mind, be quiet. I don't want this noise anymore. Please mind, I just want to be quiet. I just want to be quiet. You'll find, shockingly, that is the mind telling the mind to be quiet, and that's not how you do it. Because the more you fight the mind, the more it's going to resist you. If you defeat the mind right now, tomorrow it will come back again. Like, say for example, you are like, sitaki kufikiria hizo mawazo, please nyamaza, and then to the next second it will come back again. So the way you stop fighting the mind is like this. The thought has come. Instead of even speaking, you're not even distinguishing whether the mind is saying a good thing or a bad thing. You just observe. You get? In this sense, you remember that you are not the mind. You remember that you're just consciousness. You are just the essence of consciousness. You get? You go back to your seat of self, and you'll hear this so many times. You go back to the seat of self. What does the seat of self means? And the way you get to the seat of self is like this. You move from a place of thinking that you're the mind. You're not the mind. You're not your emotions, you're not your body, and you're not the mind. You're just pure consciousness. So you remember that. And how do you remember that? You remember it by um actually, just a moment. I have thought of a thought that I have a friend who is kind of going through the same thing. Amekuwa akiniambia hata yeye ni worse. Yeye ni worse kabisa. Yeye sasa yeye ako suicidal sasa. There's depression, then there's suicidal. Suicidal sasa hapo ndio like you gotta help this person. So nimekuwa nikitry ku reach out kwake, but I'm not finding him. Let me see whether I can call him nione kama anaweza ingia hii class. Anaweza come juu sasa imeshift from an AI class to a psychological class, which I love because for me I always follow what the heart is telling me. So AI tutaongelelea kesho. I'll find a way to do these classes without um mm, exactly. Uh, yeah. So there's no way, bro. I can take the approach nianze kufunza mambo na AI and I know you're not okay. I can't do that. I have to first of all take care of you. I have to first of all take care of that specific problem that is disturbing you, and then when you take care of it add information ya AI sasa itakuwa ikiflow. Juu sasa hizi tukianza kufanya mambo ya AI, bro, hata utasikia kitu. Unaona? Haya. So this is let me show you now. So in Christianity, we say this. Christianity says that soul is your mind, your acha niziandike chini. Cause hata nikushtue saizi I'm a Muslim but I'm doing this yeah, nilikwambia mimi I'm a Muslim. Yeah, I'm a Muslim. And interestingly, I am doing this class in a church. Yeah, I'm in a church right now. So it's a long story. Acha ndakuchapia tu WhatsApp juu I think niko live size, but I'll tell you. Haya, so I was to call someone. I was to call Takatu. Takatu, let me see whether he'll pick up. Hapatikani. Maybe God is telling me something. Haya, so I was saying this. Tulikuwa wapi? Please remind me. Oh, spirit and soul. Spirit and soul. Haya, so let's start with soul. So in Christianity, you usually say soul is the mind, the will, the personality. Hapana, haikuangi consciousness. Haya, then the spirit, sasa hapo ndo tunakujanga consciousness sasa. Ama tunaita your connection to God. Yeah, the spirit. Unaona? So that's what Christianity says. You get? But now, um, so umeelewa your difference, cause before nielewe mi nilikuwa nimetake time ku like kurada ni nini mnamaanisha, cause mi nimezoea soul it's just consciousness, unaona? So it was confused. Si ndio umesoma hivyo ama ninaongea uongo kuhusiana na difference ya soul na spirit? Haya, acha nikwambie. Soul ni your mind, your will, your emotions na your personality. Then spirit, it's the part of you that connects you to God. It enables a relationship with God and spiritual awareness, and then it responds to the Holy Spirit. Unaona? Sasa hapo you guys don't talk, Christianity doesn't mention consciousness. I don't know. The mind. Mm. Interesting. But for me, with my experience with Christianity and consciousness, like let me show you. Kuna verse inasemanga Romans 2:15. Their conscience also bears witness, and their conflicting thoughts accuse and excuse them. Timothy 1:5. Love that issues from pure heart and good conscience and sincere faith. So the mind, the consciousness is the inner awareness that helps a person recognize right and wrong. That's how you define it. The inner awareness that helps a person recognize right and wrong. Yeah. Mm. 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 Bro, hiyo verse hadi nilikuwa nimeandika mahali. Romans 12:2, do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable. Bro, hiyo unaona, hiyo nikushtue, iko hapa hapa, literally where I was. How is it that mimi saa zingine nimeacha kushtuka kuhusiana. So let me give you the difference between consciousness and instincts. Consciousness is awareness of yourself and your surroundings. No, no. But instinct is an inborn behavior or response. Consciousness involves thinking, reflecting, and making deliberate choices, but instincts happens automatically without learning. No one teaches you instincts. Then consciousness can question, evaluate, and override impulses. But instincts, it's acting quickly with little or conscious thought. Like, let me give you an example. Sindio, mwizi amekam. Sindio, mwizi amekam, anataka kuiba. Do you sit down and deliberate how you're going to beat this thief? If let's say you saw a dog that was chasing you, do you think you'll sit down and start thinking on how you are going to run away from that dog? You just run. So there is little thought. It's an inborn behavior, and it's automatic. It's fixed. Like wewe ukiamua ni instincts za kukimbia, it's born in you. Haya, haya. So now let's go to back to depression, si ndio? I want you to look at it from this perspective. Um, First of all, let me before I diagnose, help me understand how you're experiencing this depression. Tell me the thought aspect, the feeling aspect, and how you're staying, how you're living. Mm, mm-hmm, mm, 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 mhm, mhm, mm, mm, mhm, mhm, mm, mm, mhm, mm, mm. Wewe ndo unafaa kuwaomba. Mm, mm, mhm, mhm. You know, you've mentioned someone interesting. You've mentioned Benny Hinn. I actually have his number. Ni venye nimekuwa very reluctant kumcall. I met him, there was a day. Oh, oh, unaongea kuhusu Benny Hinn. Nimefikiria unaongelea another Kenyan guy that is called nini? Uh, Benny Hinn ni mgani? Nimeshika, najua mwenye unaongelelea. I know the guy. Mwenye anapeanga mwenye anapeananga story yake kuhusiana na his path with issues to do with Ngwati. Uh, yeah, yeah. I know the guy. Actually, you've inspired me. You remind me that I message him and we become friends with him because I sort of feel that I've been I think maybe it's the enemy who is preventing me from calling him. There are three people that I got contacts them to go to Menda Men's Conference, and I got Ben Hill's number, and then I got Robert Burales' number, and then I got another guy. They're here. Yeah. So okay. So now let's go back to what we are talking about. I want now to be specific on depression sasa. Sawa? Tuitackle sasa vizuri. So understanding the mind requires some Let me show you why my approach is usually unique. Me, I believe my belief is this, that everything is spiritual. That's my belief. Everything is spiritual. You tell me about school, yeah? Mm-hmm. Mm, mm, mm. Interesting. Um, what I'll do is I will I will allow me to pose that question. Stay jibu saizi, but you'll see. I will link to it. Ndaifikia tu sai tu, but mm, mm. Exactly. So allow my mind to cook the answer and bring you a hot meal. Mm. Another one. Mm, mm. Yeah, it has levels. It has levels. Mm. I give you the levels. Yeah, we'll start there. We'll start there actually. Mm. Bro, uko ni home. Mi naishi Limuru, bro. Mm. Nani? Mm. 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 Bro, utanifanya nianze kuhubiri because I have a literal sermon here on purpose, but I'll get to it. Nataka kufika kwa purpose lakini si saa hizi. So, yeah, so tuanze na level sasa, si ndio? So the thing you're going to realize about depression is this. It starts with the thoughts. Thoughts ndo zinaanzanga. When you have those negative thoughts, that's the first level. The first level is when you notice that your thoughts are negative. And a normal, I want you to look at it as sickness. When you're sick, when you are, the first symptoms of this sickness is negative thoughts. The moment you start seeing that your thoughts are negative, the moment you start seeing that these thoughts are a bit weird, like unaanza kujicriticize, so they're usually taking these levels. You're either criticizing yourself, you are either or you are saying negative things about yourself. The moment you start, that's the first level. The second level is action, or the second level is actually, before you go to action, is feeling. Because when you have negative thoughts, you expect negative feelings, India. So so the first feeling that you usually experience is a feeling of low motivation. And then after low motivation, there's something we call anhedonia. Anhedonia is that feeling where things that used to bring interest or joy to you, like let's say for example, unapenda kwenda PS ama unapenda kwenda to swim. Now you find you don't like doing those things. You're no longer going to swim, you're no longer going to PS, you're no longer going to your friends, you're not meeting up with people. And the other thing also that is a big sign of depression is when you don't want to interact with people. That's in the second stage. When you don't want to interact with people, that's depression. Pure depression. Then another thing also, you stay indoors and you are doom scrolling a lot. Like you want to be on social media a lot. Then after social media, you're trying to numb your mind. You're either on social media or you're watching a lot of movies. And then another addition is pornography. When you're depressed, pornography ni kama zinakujanga zikiwa zimepangana, and they have a specific time. Then also another aspect of depression is you don't have sleep. That's what stage 3. Certain stage 3. Stage 3 is you lose sleep. You're not sleeping, bro. Like you find that you and sleep like you divorced, and when you sleep for a few hours, and then the moment you remove sleep from your life, bro, I'm telling you, that's the end of you. That's the end of you. Ufike timali because that's where now the illnesses now become sick. Nini. So I want you to realize something. So si mwili yako iko na immunity. Do you realize that your mind also has an immune system? Mental health issues come when the mind is not okay, when the mind is sick. No. So when the mind is sick, you now get to a place where you have depression, you have anxiety, you have that particular issue. Why? Because the mind did not learn how. Now sasa sitaki ku work from a place of, oh, now I want to show you nini. I want to now show you practical. Nataka kufollow. Ati? Yeah, it has two aspects. You are either very hungry or you don't care about food. So with food, you're in a fall under category anhedonia, where you lose interest in things that used to bring pleasure. So if food used to bring you pleasure, it no longer brings you pleasure. Nona? Yeah. So the sort of interesting aspect about 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 depression is it sort of makes you just be in a place like, mi sijisikii kunini, si feel ku. Kuna mtu ameingia, let me see. Oh yeah, she's in. Okay, you can see the presentation. Okay, now we can stop theorizing and actually do something. So I was explaining that are the levels of depression. So when you lose sleep, that's now none of it. We usually have like dominoes. The domino that crashes everything is sleep. The moment you lose sleep, sasa hapo ndo sasa unaanza sasa. This is now the critical stage. The moment you lose sleep, now depression becomes even more intensified. It becomes more and more and more. So the extremities of depression, so that we'll get to it. So to answer now, what is depression? Psychology defines depression as more than sadness. It involves persistent change across several dimensions of a person's life. So depression changes perception, not reality. So reality, what do I mean hapa? Reality yako inaweza kuwa that uko you have a roof over your shoulder, unakula but you're still depressed. Unaweza kuwa hadi uko na salary but you're still depressed. Unaweza kuwa hata uko na familia but you're still depressed. The reality is the same, but what has shifted? Your perception. And people don't know this about depression. Juu watu hufikiria manze, nini ni shida ya huyu mtu, akona everything, they are rich but they're depressed. Why are they depressed? Unaona, unaweza shindwa mbona mtu tajiri anaweza kuwa depressed. No, it's not reality that has shifted their perception. Unaona, depression often tells people nothing will ever change. The message is one of the clearest markers that a depression is at work. Psychology inafunzanga mtu that depression reshapes how situations are perceived, not what is actually true about them or the future. No. So when you are depressed, my brother, no, it's not a problem about your need. It's your job. You may think that it's the job that has made you become depressed, but it's not. Because even if I give you a job right now, you'll still be depressed. No. What are the symptoms? Tuanze na emotions. Depression shows up across 4 different domains. Ya kwanza ni emotional and hopelessness. Una feel like hakuna hope. And let me tell you something, bro. If there is an emotion that is more painful than most feelings, ni guilt combined with hopelessness, combined with emptiness and numbness. What do I mean by numbness? That nothing is moving you. Bro, unaweza watch the saddest movie ever, but you're not feeling, it's not even hitting you. Haikuguzi. Ama mtu anaweza kuja hapo alie, oh guy, oh, na you feel anything. Numbness. I feel like this numbness is like a sort of emptiness, like a gap that is in you, that so combine all of those, bro. You that's what depression is. Emptiness, numbness, and guilt and hopelessness. Then physically you feel fatigued. Na ujafanya kitu siku mzima. The whole day ujafanya, lakini ukichoka umechoka. Nikikwambia uende duka unasikia nikaa nimekwambia uende marathon mpaka Nigeria. No. Then you have poor sleep. Then your appetite changes and you have slowed movement. Like you move like someone who is lazy. Cognitively, as I told you, you have negative thinking. And the reason also why you are attracted to social media is because social media is allowing you that this poor concentration is, human beings right now can be able to tell whether a video has good dopamine within 3 seconds. Whether this video is good for them or not good for them within 3 seconds. That's what you call doom scrolling. Doom scrolling is looking for those hits. Niki scroll to hivi, hii nipe hit, hii nipe hit, hii nipe itanipea hit. Now you watch. No. Then you have memory difficulties. You'll find when you're depressed, bro. Nikwambie, tell me your high school teacher alikuwa anaitwa aje, hata huwezi kumbuka. But saizi ukiwa huko depressed, hata unaweza niambia anakaa aje, alikuwa anavaa aje, because what depression does, it's a cognitive problem. Cognitive means the mind. That means that processes in the mind, such as processing information and recalling and information, require energy. And because you don't have energy, because they have not added a spiritual aspect, the spiritual aspect is that you lose energy. So because the mind doesn't have energy, therefore it doesn't put the effort to find that. Because if I tell you to remember something, you'll need to place energy in remembering it. But if you don't have enough energy, bro, you won't be able. So in energy, here's something now I'll introduce another concept for you. Energy. What is energy? You'll find when your consciousness is connected to the infinite or God, it receives something, and that is what we call energy. An opening in your body that creates energy is your heart. We call it a chakra. Chakra is openings in your body that can produce energy. You have the ability to produce energy, but we always say your energy is finite. Leo utakuwa na energy, kesho hauna. Saizi umechoka, saizi uko na furaha, but kesho utakuwa na energy. So now what happens is, if let's say for example you are in that state where you're trying to recall, you don't have that energy to be able to recall, then the behavioral aspect is isolation. You don't want to meet with people, then you lose interest. This is now what we call anhedonia. and then you lose productivity, you're not productive. Hata unaweza pata the biggest thing umefanya hiyo siku, ile kitu kubwa yenye imekuchukua, like you feel like you're very tired after doing it, ni kupika. Hata si kupika, ni ile yenye, ama kwenda duka, ama kwenda choo. Kwenda choo inakuwa the most difficult thing. Don't energy level. Imagine energy as a battery. Every experience either charges or drains. So vitu zenye zina drain energy yako ni remuneration, fear, perfectionism, toxic relationships, chronic stress, unresolved grief, na self-criticism. So bro, you left a job. Did you grieve? You haven't grieved that job, leaving that job. It's, you know what why I'm calling it grief. Grief is when you're in a state where you don't accept that this person has left you. The same thing with your job. Have you accepted that you have lost this job? Remuneration is, what if I was in this job? What if ningefanya? What if? That's what remuneration is. Fear is, now sasa nitatafuta wapi kazi, wewe ndaanza wapi, niende wapi. Perfectionism is, guy, expectations, bro. You're using big people like Patrice Lumumba and these big people, that people around you view you as perfect. Wewe huwezi kuwa na mashida, unawaambia uko broke na waamini. Wewe unawezaje kuwa broke? All these are draining your energy and you need to let go of them. All these. Sawa? Then tunaanza energy builders. Kitu ya kwanza ni kulala. Bro, I'm telling you, if you fix your sleep. So this is what I want you to do. I won't even ask you much. I want you tomorrow when you wake up, make your bed. Only make your bed and then just go and sit in the sun. Kwanza hiyo jua ya saa 3 mpaka saa 5 hapo. Hiyo jua, enda tu wote jua. Ukiota jua, then go for a walk. Enda tu tembee tu kwa nature. Ukimaliza hivyo kuja upike lunch. Then ulale. Ukiamka, enda tu go for another walk. Then urudi ulale. Job yako tu ikuwe ni nature and sleeping and eating good. Na ukiweza toa simu. Like, only use your phone to listen to music or to send messages, but don't use it for social media. We call it a dopamine detox, where you avoid those things that used to bring you those big hits of dopamine, because your dopamine level sizes may break vibaya sana. They need to stabilize. Naona? Then the other thing, sasa tumefika kwa kitu yako, purpose. Naona? So bro, you've said that your purpose is to serve, to lead, and to impact. Sindio? Who are you serving right now? Exactly. So depression only comes when you're thinking about yourself. So bro, I want you to find one person, anyone, and if you want, I can give you one person. Ukikosa, call a friend mwenye unajua ako na shida, mwenye alikwambia umtumie pesa ukashindwa kumtumia, msaidie. Unatafuta job, nitakutafutia, na unajua una kazi hadi wewe, lakini msaidie, help them. Sawa? Then exercise. Ndio maana nakwambia uende kutembea. If it's not walking, bro, go for a run. Hata kama ni run ya jioni, like you just run for nini. And what you'll do is you need to find a friend who you download an app called Step Up, where you can be checking each other's steps. It will encourage you. Step Up. You just be going for a run and start an aim of 10K steps. Then you improve on that. Kila wakati una grow. Then I want you to make one new friend every day. Ukienda for your runs, make friends na mama mboga. Make friends na madhe wa mandazi. Ena tu kwa bashte yao tu. Wewe tu hapo tu uanze kumpigisha mastori, umuulize na je, by the madhe, mimi sijui kupika mandazi. Na nataka kusurprise girlfriend yangu. Hebu please nipe tu ka process tu. Najua tu juu, lakini nataka tu kujua venye mtu anafanyanga. Ama umuulize, mazee, nataka advice yako. Niko na kadema hapa kananisumbua. Just start conversations with people. It doesn't even do this. So unapandanga matatu, talk with that person who you're seated next to. Ana tu kumpigisha story. Unaona that boring friend mwenye be that boring friend who talks in the matatu. Then this is the most powerful one. Wachana na hizo zingine zote. This is the most powerful force on earth. Bro, I'm telling you, if let's say for example you wake up in the morning and you tell God all things that you're grateful for, and then you go to sleep and you tell God all the things that you're grateful for, do it for 5 days, bro. You'll not be depressed. Hiyo nakupea guarantee, you'll not be depressed. Then start doing spiritual practices. Spiritual practices ni kama, I want you to go to YouTube and then you search morning guided meditation, because no one knows how to meditate. Therefore, if you want to learn how to meditate, you just got to uh, try and learn how it's done. No, someone needs to teach you how to meditate, so you go and find a guided meditation on it. Sasa haya, you do a morning one, you do for abundance, you do one for reducing stress, one for going to sleep, one, there are so many. Any problem you have, there's a meditation for it. No. Then acts of kindness, because you've said that your purpose is to impact, find people that you can impact. So people who you can show acts of kindness. It doesn't have to be money, just act an action you can do. So haya, twende sasa the cognitive triad. Ris- eh? Mm. Mm. No, no. Actually, they add energy to you. No. How would a hug drain you? You know, as a man, it's rare you have physical contact because you are not hugged as a child. Therefore, actually, I would encourage you to hug more people. Hug hadi huyo mama mboga, mwambie madhe manze, hebu nipe hug. Mi walai, mi sinanga aibu. Mi nakwambia mi nadhani ni hug mama mboga. Mwambie madhe manze, mi hivi unanisa vingi. Ama uende hug tu mtu wako wa mtura, umwambie Kemani, ũrĩa niĩ ũthondekaga no mũhaka ngũhe kĩhangi. Mm, yeah, hugging is good for you. It actually, huh? So so for you, when it comes to food, avoid carbohydrates. Avoid them. I would advocate for fruits, vegetables, and proteins. Avoid unga, avoid chapo, avoid ugali, avoid mchele. Focus on proteins, vegetables, and fruits. Especially proteins, especially being a man. Focus on proteins. Ukitaka ushibe siku mzima, buy njahe, buy njugu, buy beans, buy nyama, na ndoma, they're good. But yeah, those healthy carbs, they're healthy carbs na processed carbs. Avoid processed carbs zote. Haya, twende kwa cognitive triad. Research from cognitive behavioral therapy shows depression is maintained by 3 cognitive beliefs. Number 1 belief is I am worthless. No, no. This is about yourself. Then about the world, everything is against me. Then about the future, it will never get better. Those are the three triads that will destroy your life. Changing thoughts alone does not always cure depression, but identifying what the disordered thinking reduces its power. Unaona? So najua ukishift sasa uanze so now this is how you shift sasa, sawa? Start every morning. We call them affirmations. Introduce affirmations to your life. You wake up, you go to the mirror, and you tell yourself, I love you, Jaffa. Jaffa, you are an amazing person. You are very handsome, and I love you. I know you don't. Your parents never told you that they loved you. I know you never received the love that you deserved, but I genuinely love you. You are full of value, and you're a man of purpose, and you are destined for so many things. It's like you're hyping yourself. Unaona venye timu so zinajihype, unajihype sasa, unajijaza. Then about the world, recognize that the world is not against you. Actually, yesterday there was a woman. I met a woman who changed my life. She's called Pastor Judy. Aliniambia something that for me I will never forget. Hii hata sijui nilikuwa ni sikuiandika, but it was in my mind that the world is your oyster and it's a blank check. Everything you want is possible, especially when you're young and you have ideas. Mi nitakuwa best friend ya Pastor Judy milele yake, because this woman is so smart. So if you have dreams and you have ideas, the world is a blank check. Go and cash it. Mm. Chake inaitwa Fanero. Phaneroo. So now tuendelee. So I want you to know that the world is ready to assist you. It will bring, actually we call it the law of attraction, or the secret. The law of attraction says when you want something, because first of all, what do you know about the law of attraction on yourself? Mm, 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 mm. The thoughts, yeah. Mm, mm. Exactly. Actually, you umesema kile nilikuwa nataka kusema something interesting. There's a quote that I loved from a podcast that I was listening to, ya Shetty, that was so saying this, that you will attract your wife or a girlfriend who has the insecurities or the wounds you have not healed from. An example, if let's say for example you are a woman, you're going to attract a wife who is cold and never validates your emotions. So what is the law of attraction? The law of attraction is simple. Nataka ukumbuke, it's not magnets, but because magnets, it's opposite attract. But in the law of attraction, it's like attracts like. In this sense, it is the belief that your thoughts, emotions, and expectations influence what you attract in your life. So if you have negative thoughts, you attract negative people. If you have negative emotions, you attract things that actually accentuate that feeling. The core, the core ni two, like attracts like. So therefore, if you focus on positive outcomes, you attract positive experiences. But if you dwell on negative outcomes, you will attract negative experiences. No, no. So you need to ask yourself, what do you want? Then have the belief or the faith that it's possible and act as if it is achievable. If let's say you've said that you're a leader, find a team that will approve you as a leader and believe that it's achievable. And then the last step is receive. Stay open to opportunities and take inspired action toward your goal. In this sense, I want you to think in the aspect of prayer. You know that people who pray to God and God will not even answer their prayers, and He knows why, because of how they prayed. I want to take these two people that are praying. Person A, we are going to call them Jake, and the other one we're going to call them Japa. Person A is like, oh Mungu, haki ya nani? Sina bibi yangu ameniacha. Oh, watoto wangu hata waniongeleshangi siku hizi, nimevutwa kazi. Oh, sijakula jana, nimelala nje. Mungu, kwani uliniacha? Si unisaidie tafadhali kama unanipenda. That's person one, si ndio? And it's a prayer that every one of us have made. Then we have to person two. Person two is like, Heavenly Father, I come to you in a place of gratitude. I thank you for the wonderful day. Even though my wife left me, I thank you that I have a roof over my shoulder. I thank you that unaona, this person is coming from a place of gratitude. And I actually, when they're praying, they're thank you for bringing back my wife. Thank you for bringing back my children. Thank you also for allowing more food and abundance to come into my life. Hana hizo vitu, but he's thanking God as if he's receiving them. You get? Mm. Mm. Very powerful. Very powerful. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Mm. I'll show you that aspect of prayer. Hapo tutafika. Hapo I will show you how to pray. Tuendelea. The other one is about the future. Any thought you have about the future creates anxiety. Anxiety is when you have that sense of uncertainty and fear about the future. So it will never get better. So now, when you're present, you don't even have to think about the future. You're just thinking about the now. So I won't tell you to change your future or think that the future will be brighter. No, focus on the present. So let's go to the voice inside. So this is the animal. So nimekwambia, the mind is the source of all evil. The root of all evil in the world is not the devil. It's not Satan. It's the mind. What created money? Because my cousin yesterday, shout out to Brian. So Brian alikuwa ananiambia hivi ati sasa hii maisha unataka kuniambia nilizaliwa niende shule nijifunze kutafuta pesa, niishi maisha yangu yote nikifikiria kuhusu is there anything beyond money? And I was just laughing. Tulikuwa tunacheka. Ati sasa we were brought on this earth just to serve money and nothing else. So So I will add it to our list of questions because money is also serving the aspect of purpose. Inaenda kwa purpose. Tutafika hapo. Haya. So the voice inside your head. So this is coming from my favorite book called The Voice of Knowledge. One of the biggest insights that is that human beings live under an internal judgment system that constantly says you're not enough, you're failing, nobody loves you, you'll never succeed. But psychologically, this is just negative talk. No, no, this is just negative talk. Negative talk in the sense, someone's calling me. Okay, just a moment. Um, How are you? So, I know you came with the expectation of AI, but allow me to sort of change the agenda a bit because people disappointed me. They didn't come, and so we've decided to shift to a much more interesting topic. We are discussing depression and how to overcome it. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm a psychologist by profession, so I had to adapt. If you don't want to talk about AI, then let's talk about your problems. So let me do a quick recap for you, and then we're just in slide 4. So will you I'll do a quick recap so that you sort of are in the same pace as we are. Okay. Yeah, but tomorrow I have said I'm going to make a complete YouTube video in regards to AI. I have to deliver on that promise. Okay, so we were talking about depression, and we were delving on this simple aspect of that depression is not about your reality. Psychology defines depression as more than just sadness. It involves a persistent change across several dimensions of your life. So there's the aspect of your mood, your thinking, your motivation, your energy, your sleep, your concentration, your hope. These are the different aspects. And that's why when you tell someone, please explain depression to me, they can't express it. It's difficult to explain in words because it has a persistent aspect of changing in different aspects of who you are. And because you will find even in management theories, they usually say that you can't use one management system with people because people are complex beings. The same thing with depression. You can't define it because it's too complex in an aspect that it affects different areas of your mind. Therefore, you'll find something that I sort of you need to appreciate about depression is this. Depression changes your perception. You might find you are rich, you have money, you have kids, you have everything, but you're depressed. Why? Because depression only changes your perception, not your reality. Your reality might be good, but your perception of it is what has been construed. So now you'll find that depression often tells people that nothing will ever change. That message, that core message, because that's the core belief. Because I wanted to distinguish between a thought and a belief. A belief drives a thought, and when a thought has been constant in your mind, it creates a belief. Like, I'll give an example. A thought is, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. What is the belief that is created? I am worthless. That message is one of the clearest markers of that distortion is at work. Distortion is an interesting word in a sense where it defines that aspect where you believe something that is untrue. Psychology teaches that depression reshapes how situations are perceived, not what is actually true about them. So, if you want to overcome depression, what are you try to change? Your perception. So, um, you'll realize that there are two aspects of perception. There's the present moment and then there's the future. Here's the interesting thing. When you're depressed, you don't care about the present moment. You're only caring about the past and the future. And why is that? And so I know this is something that we have repeated all over again because of the mind. The mind is the source of all your problems. So Maggie, we were sort of defining that a human being is made up of three aspects: the body, the mind, and the soul. The soul is the consciousness, the awareness. The consciousness can either be aware of something or pay attention more on something or not. In Christianity, usually define the soul as the mind, the will, the emotions, all those combined. And then the spirit is now what you define as your connection to God. But allow me to shift it kidogo, where I just say that the mind the body, and the soul are what makes up a man. To simplify it, to avoid a lot of confusion. So the soul is there, what connects you to God. The soul also is consciousness in its rawest form. So why am I saying that it can connect you to God? Because consciousness can be able to focus on the infinite. What do I mean by the infinite? By focusing on what God, or the energy of God. So let's go to the second slide, that slide, recognizing the symptoms. So depression has three, affects you on four main bases: your emotional state, your physical state, and your cognitive state, and your behavior state. In this sense, you find that there's usually a path. Your thoughts affect your emotions affect your actions affect your behavior, and your behavior changes your habits then form your character. So what is the emotional detriment to your emotions? Depression affects your emotions through hopelessness. We will find people who are depressed express a feeling of hopelessness, like they don't believe that the future is fruitful. Then there's an essence of guilt. Now, see, I told you the mind only thinks about the past and the future. So in the future, there's no hope, and in the past, there's guilt. You're guilty about the smallest tiny things that even if, and that's what we call delusion and distortion. Delusion is the aspect where you sort of exaggerate issues that took place. Then there's an essence of emptiness. Emptiness is that essence where you don't feel like there's any substance within you. Then there's numbness. Numbness is that feeling where you completely don't want to um you feel nothing. You can watch a very emotional movie and you don't feel anything. Someone can come and cry their problems out and there's nothing that is feeling there. So, and also you're trying to find things that numb you even more. If it's movies, if it's drinking, if it's alcohol, if it's anything that will numb your emotions, you will do. Then the physical aspect is you feel at fatigue. And here's the interesting thing: the whole day you've been in bed, but you still feel fatigued. The only thing you've done, the heaviest thing, and this one you feel like you have lifted a whole gym going to the toilet, and that one is tiring as hell. You went to the toilet and you feel like, oh, I'm so tired. Even the most tiring thing is just moving a blanket. Like moving the blanket from you're feeling cold. Moving that blanket is the heaviest thing you've ever experienced. Then poor sleep. And this one is the mother of all your problems. If you don't have good sleep, depression will finish you off. Then appetite changes. With appetite, you find you're either too hungry or you don't feel like eating. Then slow movement. This is where you become like a tortoise. You start walking like you don't care. You don't care about life. Then the cognitive aspects, and this is now the mother of all of it, is negative thinking. We call them ants. Ant is the aspect where you only are uh, are talking right, thinking about, we call ants, where the A stands for all negative thoughts. You get? So that's the whole concepts of negative thoughts. Then we have poor concentration, where you find if the mind is where the illness is, therefore that your memory will be affected, your ability to retrieve information will be affected, which is the memory, but also your ability to process information right now is also affected. So it's important to sort of avoid those. So you find your mind is affected in those simple aspects. Then, when it comes to memory difficulties, all these are just to do with the mind. Then with behavior, you isolate. You don't want to. Oh, take stories about to. You don't want to be close to people. You lose interest in things, and this aspect of losing interest, we call it anhedonia. Anhedonia is the aspect where things that used to bring you joy, they no longer bring you joy. If you enjoyed swimming, you don't want to go swimming. If you enjoyed laughing, if Kena used to make you laugh, saizi unaona Kena ni kama anakubo tu, like sasa hii jamaa inasema nini. If Eric Omondi used to make you laugh in the past, you see his videos and they just piss you off. That's anhedonia. Then there's the reduced productivity. Hata productivity. They shouldn't even write. It shouldn't even be productivity. You just reduce. There's nothing you're doing. The most effort you can make is when either you're going to the toilet or scrolling or feeding yourself. Those are the only things that you are allowing yourself to put much effort in. If it's not those things, there's nothing else that is worth your energy. So now with energy, which is a good segue, is we have energy drainers and energy builders. So with energy drainers, we have rumination. Rumination is that situation where you just thinking about the past, where you're like just ruminating. Oh, what if I did this with that job? Oh, what if I did this with that girl? Oh, what if I did this? You live in the if, in the past. Then fear is that essence where you are scared about what is potentially going to happen. This is the anxious thoughts. Then there's perfectionism. Perfectionism is that aspect where you have an image that you want to portray to the world. So people view you as being a perfect, and you're trying to maintain that image, but you're not okay. You don't, and perfectionism makes you never ask for help because you're like in that situation. If people view me, mimi ndio ninakuanga successful, mimi ndio nakuanga niko sawa, mbona niende nikamwambia wanisaidie hadi wataniamini, watasema ninawang'ora ama try kuwakona. Then toxic relationship drain you. So in perfectionism, you need to show vulnerability and you need to be authentic and you need to try to avoid. You'd rather do something, make progress, go in that particular. If let's say you're doing a project, it doesn't have to be perfect. You make first of all come up with a raw version and then improve as you move along. Then there's the aspect of chronic stress. Chronic stress is that aspect where the particular situation you're in is stressing you out. And with stress, it's what you want versus the reality of what is happening. That's what causes stress. So there's the unresolved grief. If let's say, for example, you lost a job, but you did not give yourself time to grieve, you haven't yet accepted that you lost the job. Then there's the self-critique, which is the source of all your problems, which is the mind, the liar. Actually, from now on, I'll either call it the voice or I'll call it the liar. So we have the self-critic. Then we have energy builders. The most important one, the most important one is sleep. If you take care of your sleep, I'm telling you, you'll be okay. And that's why I was telling my friend Sam, if you don't have anything you're doing, wake up, go in the sun or go into nature, and then go back to bed, sleep. Wake up again, go for a run or go for a walk into nature, and then go back to sleep. If that's your life, you'll see your energy coming back to you. Then purpose. In this aspect of purpose, you find when you're in momentum, when you're doing something, when you're when you know where you're headed to, it's difficult for your energy to actually purpose gives you energy. You find even actually it's the relationship with God. Let me show you the interesting thing about purpose. I'll ask you yourself because you guys also are creators. Before you create something, you first of all have a problem. Like let's say, for example, my problem is this phone. I want to go live with it, but I don't know how to go. It keeps on falling down. Therefore, I need a stand. So the purpose comes precedes the creation. So when you were created as a person, there was a purpose that God had for you. Therefore, if you are moving in life without a purpose, then you lose energy. You get? So purpose preceded action. So if you're taking action and you don't know where this action is taking you, then you're losing your purpose. Then exercise is good, especially being a man or being in that state where you're a productive person. Exercise is very important. Okay. Excuse me just for a moment. Uh, dakika moja tu and then I'll come back. Just a second. So Sam, tutamalizia hapa tu kwa the last prison, and then we'll continue tomorrow. So there's the cognitive. So I will. We have exercise. We have meaningful relationships, and then the most powerful one of them is gratitude. If you have gratitude in your life, I'm telling you, it will do wonders. So we have affirmations that have gratitude in them, where you talk to God in a place of gratitude, and then there is acts of kindness, and then the cognitive triad. So, research from CBT usually shows that depression is maintained by three cognitive beliefs. Number one, belief about yourself, where you believe that you're worthless, belief about the world, where you believe that the world is against you, and then there's a belief about the future, where it is talking about you believe that the future will never get better. So changing these thoughts alone will not cure your depression, but identifying the distorted aspects about it will reduce its power on you. So the assignment that I have for you, if you're feeling depressed or you are having this issue, work on these three things: your thoughts about yourself, your thoughts about the world, and your thoughts about the future. And also your thoughts, we can add another one about the past. Let go of the past, let go of the future, be in the present. Those will be helpful. So we can close at that, and then we will continue tomorrow. Sawa sawa Sam? Yeah. I will tell you what time works best for me, and then in advance I will send it to you. Then I think we'll need to sort of create a new community in terms of wellness and all these things. But we'll use the we don't need to create another one. We'll just use the growth opportunity hub. That one will be the one that we will be communicating this type of conversations that are not technical but dealing with you as a person. You get? Yeah. So you have yourself a lovely night, Maggie. It was a pleasure. If you're interested in that type of vibe, we will talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, Mudhoni. Yeah, she's been very quiet, but I hope amekuwa akisikiliza. So have a good night, and we'll talk tomorrow. Okay.